Welcome friends. Again we have to discuss our subject calculus first. We started our chapter the real numbers. In the previous lecture we discussed some algebraic properties of real numbers. Today we have to discuss rational and irrational numbers. So our topic is rational and irrational numbers. Okay, already you the rational and irrational number. So just we take a revision and we will go for some problems. So first what we discover that we have, or what we know, we have n is subset of what? W is subset of what? It is I or Z. It is subset of what? Q, and it is subset of R. Is it? So you know this, that is natural number is subset of set of whole numbers, it is subset of set of integer number, it is subset of rational number, and rational is number is a subset of real number. Is it? So every natural number can be written in the n-fold sum of 1. N-fold sum of n. For example, if you take a natural number 5 can be written 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it is a 5 times addition of a 1. That means n can be written in the form of 1 plus 1 plus and so on up to 1. How much times? N times. We say it is a n-fold sum. Similarly, what we can say, every positive number can be written, it is in the form of n-fold sum. Similarly, integer minus n is an integer, then we can write it is a n-fold sum of minus 1. So minus n is a n-fold sum of a minus 1, that means minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 n times. Okay, so we can say that n is subset of W is subset of I, all these are subsets of R. Also we know Q is equal to the set of all P by Q, where P and Q are integers, and here denominator, that is Q, must be non-zero. That means what? Every number, or this which number it is, every rational number can be written, it is in the ratio of the two integers with denominator non-zero. Okay, so this set is called as rational number, set of rational number. Okay, after this what? If you take any square with the side 1, and if you try to find the diagonal of square with unit sides. So how we find this? By using Pythagoras theorem. So what is Pythagoras theorem? Hypotenuse square. Hypotenuse is nothing but our diagonal. Diagonal square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. This is 1 square plus 1 square. What should be this? 1 plus 1, it is equal to 2. And what can we write? Therefore our diagonal of square with unit side, it is equal to what? It is equal to what? Root 2. In the 6th century, Asian Greek Society of Pythagorean discovered this. What they discover? The diagonal of the square with unit side cannot be written in the form of ratio of integers. That is, this cannot be written in the form of p by q with p and q are the integers and denominator is non-zero, and then they are getting there are some numbers, these numbers are not in the rational number, and after this, these numbers which are not in rational number are called irrational numbers. So what is irrational numbers? Irrational numbers, these are the numbers which are not in rational number, or what we can say that the rational numbers cannot be written, these numbers cannot be written in the form what? P by q, with q is not equal to 0 and p and q belongs to what? It belongs to the integer set. That means the numbers which are not in rational, they are called as irrational number, and they are not written in the form of ratio of integers with denominator is non-zero. Okay? So, and then what you know, R is the union of the rational and irrational. We will take one problem on this, or we can say theorem. It can be asked for theorem or problem also. There does not exist a rational number R such that R square is equal to 2. There does not exist a rational number R such that R square is equal to 2. So we prove this. We have to prove this on contrary. That is, we have to assume there exists a rational number with the given property. So what we can say, we will prove this contrary. So let there exist a rational number R such that R is equal to R square is equal to 2. Assume, or we can say suppose R is equal to P by Q with Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are integers. Okay. Also, we assume P and Q are relatively prime and positive integers. Therefore, what we can write? Therefore, P by Q square, it is equal to what? 2. And therefore what we can write to simplify, p square upon q square is equal to 2. Therefore p square is equal to 2q square. So what we can write, p square is equal to 2q square. That means what? That means what? What we can say? P square is an even number. Even number. What is even number and odd number? The number which can be, or we can say even natural number. Natural number. It can be written in the form of 2n, where n belongs to the natural number, and odd natural number we can say it is in the form of 2n minus 1. Here n belongs to the natural number. So p square is in the form of 2q square. Therefore we can say that p square is an even number. P square is an even number. Okay. Then what we can get? This implies that p is an even number. That is what we are getting. P is an even number. If not, then p is equal to what? 2n minus 1. n belongs to the natural number. That is what? If p is not even number, then what happens? P square is equal to 2n minus 1 square. Pn is equal to what? 2n minus 1 square. So try to simplify this. What is getting? 4n square minus 4n plus 1. Okay, just use the formula. So what we are getting? P square is equal to 4n square minus 4n. Add and subtract 2. Add and subtract 2. So what we are getting? It is, now here take common 2. So what should be this? 2n square minus 2n plus 1 minus what? 1. That means what? It is equal to 2k minus 1. 2k minus 1. K belongs to the natural number. That means what? P square is an odd number. P square is an odd number. That is, if p is odd, p square, then p square is odd. That means what? It is not possible. That is, p square is even, then p must be even. If it is odd, then we are getting p square is also odd. Now p is even, then we can write p is equal to what? 2m. m belongs to the natural number. Okay, that is, we can write p, it is in the multiple of 2. Then what we are getting? Say this is equation number 1. Then what we are getting from equation 1? So what we are getting? 2m square, it is equal to 2q square. 2m square is equal to 2q square. Do simplify this. What we are getting? 4m square is equal to 2q square. And therefore what we are getting? Q square is equal to 2m square. And what it implies again? Q square is even number. Q square is even number, and therefore what? Q is even number. Q is even number. Then what happened? This implies what? Q is even number, P is even number. Therefore P and Q both are even number. Okay. Therefore what we are getting? P and Q are both are even number. Therefore P and Q have a common factor 2. Common factor 2. And which is contradiction? Which is contradiction to P and Q are relatively prime. That is what we can say. P and Q have only one is the common factor. Okay? So, very simple problem. So, what we say? This P and Q both are even, they have a common factor 2, but it is contradiction to they are relatively prime, because if they are relatively prime, their common vector is only 1. Okay? So, in this way you can prove so many theorems, or you can solve so many problems. We will take one more problem on this. So, next example, show that square root 8 is not a rational number. Can you prove this? Try to prove this. Keep video pause and try to solve this. So what we are getting? Solution. Again we have to prove it is by contradiction. So what we can say? You can prove this by using the above method also. You try, it is for homework. So I will solve by other method. So suppose on contrary root 8 is a rational number. Root 8 is a rational number, and therefore root 8 is equal to P by Q. Q is not equal to 0. P and Q are positive integers, where P and Q are positive integer, and what we can say, and P and Q are relatively prime. Okay, in the same problem we are solving. So what we are getting? Therefore we have root 8 is equal to P by Q, and we observe that root 8 is in between 2 and 3. It is in between 2 and 3 because square of this is 4, square of this is 9. So if you squaring, you are getting 4 is less than 8 is less than 9. Okay. So what we are getting? Then what we can write? 2 is less than P by Q is less than 3, and therefore we can write 2Q is less than P is less than 3Q. Just do simplification. So this implies 0 is less than P minus 2Q is less than 3Q minus 2Q, and therefore what we are getting? 0 is less than P minus 2Q is less than 3Q minus 2Q is Q. Therefore P minus 2Q is a positive integer less than Q, and therefore what we can say, that root 8 into what? P minus 2Q is not an integer. Is not an integer. Okay. P minus 2Q is positive integer less than Q. Therefore root 8 into this is not an integer, but what we can say, but root 8 into p minus 2q, it is equal to, what is the value of root 8? It is p by q, p minus 2q. If you try to solve this, what we are getting? P square upon q minus what? 2p q upon q. This q get cancelled, and what we are getting? P square upon q minus 2p. Okay, then what we do here? We divide and multiply by q to the first term. So p square by q square into q minus 2p, and this can be written in the form of p by q square into q minus 2p. And what is the value of this? This is nothing but our root 8 square q minus 2p, and it is equal to what? 8q minus 2p, and therefore what we can say? Root 8 p minus 2q is an integer, therefore which is contradiction to star. Say it is star, which is contradiction to star, and therefore we can say that root 8 is not a rational number, and therefore our aim is over. So in the similar manner you can solve so many problems. We will take some problems in practical session. Okay, so thank you very much.